Now that we have our solid rectangular prism, we are now going to start adding features of the letterbox. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to come up here to the shell tool. And what we are going to do is we are going to select the top face, and then we're going to spin the navigation cube around. I like to use the corners of the navigation cube just to be able to find my way around, and I'm going to select the back. And what the shell tool does is it will make the remaining faces that are not selected into a shell, and we have to think about how thick we want this to be. Looking at my letterbox, it looks like it's about a 2mm thickness, so I'm going to set my shell to be 2mm. Okay, so now you can see there we've got a front face and two sides and a bottom. We are now going to move into the right hand face, so if we just navigate around there, and we're now going to select create a sketch. We're going to select the plane that we're going to work on. You can we're going to select a body, but you can select the plane. In this case we want to select the body because we want to draw on the body that we have there. So I'm going to select the body. As I mentioned in the last video, the pan tool was very useful. This is a good example. So if I select the pan, I can pan up because sometimes it will take you to a predefined view, and that's not always the view that you want. Okay, now that I'm in the view that I want and I'm in the sketch menu, I go up to the line tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Fusion just clip on to that corner. So what we're doing with this is we're putting a angled line, a angled roof on top of the letterbox, so water can drain away from the top. So we can see here that the line that I have made from that anchor point that I started with, it is the set of numbers, the text box which is highlighted, that is moving the length of the line. The other text box that you can see there is the degree angle. So you can see there that the angle of the line is being determined by this as well. So what I want to do is I want to actually set a degree angle, and I don't want it to be too harsh of an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Tab, delete, and I'm just going to make that 5 degrees. Now, because it's a wee bit of a complicated maths equation and quite a small number, I'm going to let Fusion 360 do the maths around finding that exact length across that span. So you can see there, if I just let the cursor do the work, I'll get this small blue cross here, which tells me that it's intersecting with the body of the shape that we've made. And we can now see that that line is going right to that edge. It's less than a millimeter difference across that span. Just to be sure that the shape is going to work in terms of my purposes, I'm remaining on that line tool. You can see there the little sort of scorpion-like icon. I click onto the anchor point that I've made, go to the corner there, I get that little blue X, and then I'm going to go to this anchor point here. And once I have finished that, I'm going to press Escape and Finish Sketch. If I move back into the home, I can see now that I'm able to select this plane, the shape that I have created on this face. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this angled line, this pitch across both sides of the body that we've made. So if I go to extrude, and you can see there that I can actually cut across. Just be wary when you are working with the extrude that there are different types of extrude. So there's cut, there's join, there's intersect. We want to cut in this case. Just to show you, I could have actually made another part of the letterbox out like this if I wanted to. But in this case, I'm just looking to cut. So just be wary of the operation that you are selecting before you press OK. Okay, so it doesn't look like there has been too much change with that angle. Bear in mind that it is just quite a slight angle, but if I pop into the right hand view, you can see that that pitch quite clearly. Okay, so that's why it's important to be able to look at drawings from different viewpoints in order to be able to see those little details, because you don't necessarily see it looking at in a 3D angle. So that's why it's important to have different views on drawings, or in this case 3D models. What we're going to do now is we're going to pop into the front view, and we are going to put in the slot for where our letters are going to go. Now, I want this to be centered in the middle of the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some sketch lines in order to figure that out. So I'm going to go into create a sketch. I'm going to select the body that I want. Again, the pan tool, panning up. And then I'm going to go across to the offset tool. Now, the offset tool works in two ways. So you can just select one edge and you can offset that edge. Or you can actually go to chain the selection, and that will actually create like a frame. Alright, so it will select curves or straight lines in order to do that. But in this case, I'm just going to have this box unticked, and I'm just going to select this line here, and I'm going to come in 30 millimeters. I'm going to do the same with the other side. And in order to come in, I should have mentioned this, you have to go minus 30. Because sometimes you have, working with X, Y, and Z axes, you'll need to go either up the axis or down the axis. And in this case, we're going with a negative number because we're going inside the body. I do the same with the top, except I'm not coming down 30, I'm coming down minus 50. Okay, so you can see there we've got this selection in the middle that we want to actually cut. Now, these edges are a little bit severe, and what can happen with product design, if we've got sharp edges like that, they can sometimes be a little bit difficult to handle. They can even cause cuts. So what I'm going to do to alleviate that is I'm going to fillet this edge. So what we do with the fillet tool, this one, is we can select a horizontal line and a vertical line. And what that will do is create an arc between 2 points, a radius. So you can see there that it's sort of gone to 60 millimeters. That is far too big for what we want. So I'm just going to set it to 15. Going to grab the the fillet tool again, select those two axes, delete, and 15. We've got a warning here. It's just telling us that some dimensions were deleted. Yes, they were, because we were using some sketch lines to actually just figure out where we wanted to create our sketch to cut. So don't worry about that. Click Finish Sketch, go back into the home, and now what we can do is we can just go ahead and cut this. Again, just be mindful of that operation that's happening. It's cutting, fantastic, and we're left with this. So now we've got the shell of our letterbox, and we can start making our components, our door, our tray for where our letters are going to go, and our lid. All right, see you next time.